up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're starting in my miniature tiny little greenhouse. I have a lot of plants that are propagated and some that are turning a little yellow because I just potted them in soil and they need to get used to being in soil. You guys just saw some dead plants on the side. Sorry. So over here I've been trying a lot of perlite propagations. I would say I like them. They work pretty well for me so far. I do have some heart-shaped leaf Brazil philodendrons that are propagated, some Monstera Adansonii. I try to keep this outside, and then the leaves started changing, so I gave it a more humid environment, and it is doing a lot better. I just need to wait for it to take a lot of root. They already have a lot of roots because I water propagated them, but I feel like if they take more and they get acclimated to the soil, it'll be a lot better. So I plan on looking at some of my propagations and possibly potting some of them up. Okay, sorry for the horrible setup. I forgot where I put my actual tripod for my phone, and some of my recording I do on my phone. I only have my tripod for my camera. Say hi, Destiny. So this one I did pot up already. Yeah, sorry, I kind of just skip cuts, but basically I cut it in half. So it's two different cuttings now that they're both rooted, and then I watered it just so it could get a little drink, because you never want to propagate, in my opinion, not even like water it once it was used to more water. And then I'm gonna put this in a not too sunny but bright area so it could start developing more roots and getting a more bigger root system. Sorry everyone, my dog wants attention. So this one is one of my Hoya right here. Right now I'm doing my Hoyas. This one is my Crimson Queen, I believe. I did root this up in perlite and it does have a decent amount of roots. Not super big, I would say, but typically when I do root my stuff, for any super tropical plant, I like to, what are you doing? Why are you putting your face all over my shoes? You're so gross. So typically when I root my tropical plants, like I'll make sure they have a more extensive root system before I even think about potting them, but my Hoyas I find perfectly fine with even a small root system. You require a lot of attention, huh? She wants all the attention I'm giving my plants right now. I always give my Destiny attention. See, her leg is getting better. Her leg is getting better. Destiny, stop. So silly, girl. So now I'm basically going to pick one that I would feel like it would be perfect in. I feel like I could put it in a small pot, but at the same time, to put it in a 4-inch pot would be perfectly fine, in my opinion. I'm kind of picky right now. Here, I want to use this one specifically. I'll use this one. So, I make sure my soil is an airy mixture. So I use regular soil. I also do use like mosquito bits and other stuff. I use this other one, and it's not natural, so like you shouldn't put it where dogs or anyone could eat it. But she didn't touch any of my plant stuff. She hasn't even destroyed any of my plants yet. She has with her tail if she turned it off. And I do have perlite, and there are a little bit of wood chips in here. They put like wood chips in the soil that I buy from the nursery. I don't really buy a certain brand, but yeah. So I'm just making sure the soil is perfect. And then normally I take my hands or whatever, but lately I've been using sticks because it makes me have to get less dirty with my hands. And then I'm also going to check to see if there's any more. If there's not, I'm literally just going to leave it in the center. But if there is more, I'm going to put it in one pot. So I have another stem, but it hardly has any roots. It just has a little bit on the tip of here. Typically I do like to make sure that my plants have at least like 1/2 inch of a root before I pot it. I just find that it's better off but in my opinion, I have found, in particular, like Hoyas to be more okay with rooting them, even in soil, without even have to like propagate them in a separate area. I just do it just so I could keep track of my propagations, because I have all my propagations and whatnot in a certain area. So I'll keep it like this, and then I'll water it, and then I'm gonna water it today, and then I'll probably water it when it's almost dry again, but it's not dry, so more on the damp side. So if you were to use a water meter, probably on the 3 level. I don't want it to dry out too much until it gets a better root system. And then, yeah, typically if it's a longer root system, the way you acclimate it is you keep on watering it, you make sure it's damp, but then over a while you decrease the water. But since I need them to root more, I don't want them to dry out, so I'm going to keep it more wet for a little bit more longer than how I would acclimate my longer rooted cuttings in the soil. I love you. I love you. This is Destiny. Say hi. Come here. Hi. So I'm also doing, I believe this is another Hoya, but I'm not really sure what type. I'm not saying I'm like the best at Hoya names, because I'm definitely not. So I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm going to be doing a regular string of hearts. I am propagating these in smaller containers that I'm painting and stuff like that. Well, not really propagating them there, but I'm like growing them in there, but propagating them in somewhere else. But yeah, and then I also have some regular green Brazils, and regular green philodendrons, and then I have the other Brazil, my bad. I have the heart-shaped Brazil philodendron. And this is green and mossy water, I'm sorry. Okay, with that being said, I have a lot of plastics. I do reuse them. If anyone does not have or is throwing out their plastics, literally, you can send them to me, because I'm trying to be groovy and I don't want to waste plastics. So if you don't have anything you want to do with them, you want to throw them out, like, and want to send them to someone because you don't want to throw them out, you feel bad, go ahead and send them to me. I don't really care. Actually, I do care. I don't want them to be thrown out. Or put them in better use. Yeah, I got water all over my face. So these ones, obviously you could tell I propagated them in my sphagnum moss pot box. And I think I have had way better results just doing them in water. Stop it. No. Don't step on. She doesn't even touch my plants. All she will do is step on them. That's all she'll do. She won't do nothing to do it. No! That one has a root. Don't squish the roots. Please. Give it to me. Open. No. She likes to make trouble, man. You're such a troublemaker, Destiny. Okay. No, leave my stick alone. You're not getting my stick. No. No, Destiny. No stick. Destiny does not get the stick. See, Destiny's a good girl. No stick. Look, I said no stick. Okay? Yeah. She's hitting her face. She's mad. I said no stick. Take it. See what happens. No stick. Don't break that stick. No. Stop it. All she wants me to do is play with her, the little baby. But I always play with you, Destiny. I give you bathtubs. I play with you. I give you food. I pay so much attention to you. You need to go to the dentist. Destiny needs to go to the dentist. That's what Destiny needs to do, huh? Destiny needs to go to the dentist? She doesn't even talk to her. Destiny needs to go to the dentist, huh? Huh, Destiny? You need to go to the dentist? Pee, you stinky breath. yoga? Look at her little paw. She's growing all her hair back. My baby's all better, huh? You're all better? Yeah, such a good girl. Yeah, she actually, basically, she's never had, like, an actual bone before. And, like, we're like, oh, my God, this is kind of a cute bone. So, basically, we went to, like, did we go to the pet store? Yeah. And we had bought her a little bone. And we're like, oh, she could try it. And, that did not end well because she literally, like, bit the bone and then swallowed chunks of the bone. And, that's how it looks so far. This leaf is not cute. Obviously, when it has a lot of new growth, the leaves will be a lot better, okay? And then I'm just using a stick just to dig a hole and whatnot. Same old, same old. So this is what I do. And then to make sure it stays really good, I put it in my miniature greenhouse so it has a nice, decent environment to reside in. And normally I'll use the small ones, my small 2.5-inch pots. But I also do have a lot of these 4-inch pots. If anyone knows anyone who wholesales these pots for, like, super cheap, please reach out to me because I am starting my own plant shop. Actually, I have, like, my own plant shop online on Etsy, and I've been growing a lot of my plants so I could take more cuttings to grow more plants. So I'm duplicating my mother plants, basically. And so far I would say it's so good. This one's really pretty. So far I would say it's going really good. But obviously if I had like thousands upon thousands of plants, it would be a lot quicker. The whole process of growing them would be a lot quicker because like I could like make 1,000 plants out of 1,000 plants, like a couple cuttings per plant. But obviously I don't have that amount of plants here. I obviously don't. And I also do cosmetology, so I'd love to open up a salon. I just need to wait for my test. And then I also want to have like a little plant shop because I love the vibe of the plant shop. I love how like plants are. To me, it's just so beautiful and so, I guess you could say, relaxing or whatever. Somewhere around the long words of that. And basically, if I don't think I'm going to have a plant shop, like, in this year. Obviously, I'm only 19. I'm going to be 20 soon. But to expand my online shop, that would be great. So if anyone knows anyone that wholesales plants, I would love to know. Because that is something I am looking into. I'm looking into, like, wholesale plant vendors. And also, like, wholesale pots and stuff like that, like the plastic ones for the nursery pots. If you have any like wholesale vendors that sell regular pots like terracotta, I am really open to that too because terracotta is rad, you know? I probably put too much dirt in this at one time. So I would be willing to do like that and whatnot. I just want to like eventually broaden my plants so I could share my plant collection with you guys. I want to get like more exotic plants and then sell them to you guys that I propagate, basically that type of a plant shop, because I genuinely really love plants. I love the aesthetic, I love the vibe of them. So I figured, why not grow my plants and have a plant shop, and if I have to, I could wholesale from people, like get from wholesale vendors. Also, yeah, I just potted that up right now. So I have 3 plants that I potted up from cuttings. And this one's my string of hearts. So in my opinion, these ones take a pretty amount of time for them to like even take root. But the fastest way I have done it is in I can't even talk. Is in a sphagnum moss prop box. So, yeah, that works for me, and it works really good. And I kind of don't want to put this in a 4-inch pot. But I kind of don't want to put it in a 2-inch pot. Because I'm thinking, when the rest of these start growing, I might as well just put it in the same pot to make a pot full. No? Because, like, what? You know what I'm feeling? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? You feel me? And obviously, these are reusable pots, too, that I use. I use all of these all over again. Because we're eco people, and we want to save the world, and we pick up our trash, and yeah. So I just have this right here, and then I make like a line. I don't actually dig this in the soil, basically. I literally just set it on the soil and then put the soil around the stem, and I leave the heart parts out, if that makes sense. Show you guys right now. So basically I only bury the stem. Like that. I only bury the stem, and the hearts are out in the wild. They're out. They're just out like that. And then all of these plants I'll water, and then I'm going to either be putting them outside or in my greenhouse to get a lot more the climate that it should be. And then I also found my water propagation. I was seeing what will root faster, water or sphagnum, and I found my answer. I plan on making a video for that, actually. And to me, this is not full, and obviously I would not sell something that's like not full, or that's not either rooted well or whatever, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna check these ones. Some of these do have good roots. So for example, this one has a really, really long root, and the leaf is a little raggedy, but it's okay, it'll do. So I basically dug a hole with my, what is this called? Stick? Yeah. And then I'm softly pressing like the side that's not rooted. I'm basically avoiding the roots so I don't break them or whatnot. And I also don't want to put them too much into the soil, because I also want the plant to come up from the soil. And this one's just a regular Brazil one right here. So if there's any other pots that I have at Brazil, it's not full enough, which I believe I just did one right now, I'm going to be planting this in the one that I just did. So besides that, this one is going to stay in the same thing because that's not cute. It has no roots, and personally, I like to root them in water first. And then this one is going to stay right here. Destiny, leave that alone. Come here. She likes to sniff random things, and like, there's nothing there. So we are going to propagate my inch plant, which is my wandering Jew, which is in the Transatlantica family. And a lot of times when you do propagate these ones, a lot of the ends of these die, so I'm all fine with that. I don't really care at all. It's not really a big deal to me, because I still have a very extensive amount of the plant left. Leave that alone, Destiny. And in my opinion, to be honest, I literally have had no problem with either rooting this in water or simply just putting it in soil. So this one doesn't have, Destiny, this one doesn't have extensive roots on this one, but that's okay because I haven't had, stop it. This one doesn't have, I'm sorry. This one does not have extensive roots, but that is a-okay with me because I know it's not hard to propagate in soil. I do have, like, I believe this one, yeah, it does. Has a lot of roots. The roots look so gross. It looks like, I don't know, stringy boogers, I guess you could say. That's a gross termination, but yeah, I don't really like how the roots look outside of the water or outside of the soil. So, yeah. But when the roots are, can't even talk. When the roots are floating in the water, they look kind of like extravagant. But besides that, I've never had a problem with this one. I'm still trying to find out how to do the Nanook. Destiny, leave that alone. I'm still trying to do the Nanook, and I haven't found like the best way to do it yet. Haven't even got roots on it, and it's been forever. Stop. Stop it. And then, let's see, where did my scissors go? I do not know where my scissors went. I have one job. One job. So basically, I'm putting them in this pot, so if I'm like still propagating them or whatever, and if I want to make this pot fuller, I still have room in this pot to make it fuller. And that's what I did to the original pot too as well, because I did take a lot of cuttings, and the original pot is very bare. Stop. So this one is my other heart-shaped philodendron. Scoot over, Destiny, please. Thank you. And this is the one that I just repotted, and I know I'm literally wearing socks and sandals right now. Don't judge. Yeah, so I'm literally just gonna dig a hole in here and then plant this right here. Stop it, man. Stop crying. Leave me alone. She's gonna step in my dirt right now. Get out of my way. Watch out, Destiny. Please watch out. Don't get in my way. Thank you, my beautiful. Okay. So, I know one day I can't find my tripod and all of a sudden my dog is the star of my YouTube channel. Okay. You're so funny, Destiny. I'm trying to do this good the first time. Yep. And typically, like my Brazil ones, and well, not really Brazil. I'm trying to say, typically any of my heart-shaped plants, because they're more on the tropical type of spectrum of plants, I do propagate them in water, or I'll put them in water and then I'll put them in a box to keep the humidity. But typically, I'm perfectly fine just leaving them over here outside, or sometimes I'll put them in my can't even talk. Sometimes I'll put them in my miniature greenhouse that's inside the garage if I feel that it is too cold for them. And then, yeah. So actually, I had a lot more in my propagation box that were already rooted, so I added a whole bunch more to here and then to a little 3-inch pot. And this is like more in between 2.5 and 3 inches. Yeah, I did water them already though, and I have some stuff that I am planting. These are my Ripple Peperomia cuttings, and I'm just gonna put them in 2.5-inch pots, and then I'm gonna pot them up. They have a lot of roots. The best way I have found to root these is in sphagnum moss, and then basically I give them a lot of humidity because I close the box, and then they'll get a whole bunch of roots. And this only took like a month to get that many roots. Typically, a lot of times you won't even see any new roots for a while, and then you'll be like, oh my gosh, roots are growing. And once the root starts to grow, the plant will take off. Sometimes when it has too little bit of roots, I'll leave it, and then to me this is enough of roots. My Ripple Peperomia. Then I'm putting these in the small containers just because they're not even ready yet, and I'm gonna grow a plant per leaf. So I'm perfectly fine with it being one plant per container, and it's not like the string of hearts where I would be planting multiple cuttings into one. Maybe if I wanted to make the pot bigger and the plant like bigger to plant some more, like have multiple plants in one pot. But besides that, I'm just leaving them like this, and then I'm gonna put them outside. I'm gonna water them and then let them dry out, and then keep watering them, letting them dry out. So that's how I do that. These are my Peperomia obtusifolia, I believe, or oblativata. I said the name wrong. I'm so sorry. I have a lot of plants. I'm trying to fix all my names because I don't know all of them. Well, actually, basically, I know all of them, but like I kind of get confused on some of the plants sometimes. So These ones you could also propagate from different cuttings. I find the best way to do this one is in sphagnum. For some reason, when I was doing it in water, they were just like wilting. I've tried it in soil, they wilted, and then I found that the higher the humidity, the more success rate they have. So now I use a sphagnum moss prop box. And anything that falls off, I propagate in here as well. And I do reuse my sphagnum moss. And if anything goes wrong with my sphagnum moss, I'll just sanitize it and clean it and make sure it's perfectly fine before I would to ever reuse it again. But I have never had a problem with my sphagnum moss propagation boxes, so I'm okay with that. So I'm going to be planting these ones. I was thinking about letting them grow more roots, but they already have a lot of roots. I mean, it does have a lot of moss on it, so you can't really see all the roots, but trust me, it has roots. Those have been in there for around 2 months now, probably around there, yeah. I'm putting it in one of these containers. This is not a 2.5 inch. I believe this is like a 3.5. I know it's not a 4-inch pot. I do know that. And then I'm going to dig a hole. And then I'm going to plant it, which a lot of it is roots. If this did not have an extensive amount of roots, I would not be planting it. And then I'm going to make a hole for this section because I'm going to cover all these roots down in the soil. So typically I wanted to make it stand up, but in order to cover all the roots, we're going to make it kind of be slanted, like laying down almost, so it's going to come out like so. And that's perfectly fine because it will eventually grow, and it's perfectly fine with me. Anyways, thank you all you beautiful people for watching this video. If you please would like to give me a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for joining the Creepy Plant Addict. And if you would like to, please subscribe. I'm telling you again, please, please, please. I would love it. Once I hit 300 subscribers, I'll be doing a giveaway. And once I hit 400 on my Instagram, I will also be doing a giveaway there. Thank you. So you guys, I know I said I'm done with the video, but sorry, my hair's a mess. I'm going to be propagating a lot more stuff, and I'll give you a update in around a couple of months, probably like 2-3 months. For the most part, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to sell any of my Hoyas because I want to grow them for myself to make my plant more fuller. But my Brazil philodendron and my philodendrons, they might be sold, but I plan on making it as full as I can. And if it's almost there, I'll just save it until the next video from this one, because I propagate my plants to sell them and also for myself. And oh my god, I chopped this plant off so much right now. I was not wanting to do it, but yeah, so thank you again for watching. My hands are so crusty right now, ew. But yeah, I'll make sure to give an update either on here or on my Instagram, but most likely on here. And thank you.